Alrighty, so for anybody who does want to hang out, Nevergrind Online, we played this last week one time. Isn't it nice? Just kind of like chill out. You don't have to, stress yourself out too much type of game. It's like a combination of MMO and Darkest Dungeon kind of thing. So, I wonder if any of my friends are on. I'm gonna guess probably not. It would be Nietzsche or Shogi, and they're probably at work. So, last time I played, I think I played my Bard some. My Rogue is level 26 right now. It's complete opposite of FTL, kind of. Less salty anyway. Let me see. Do I want to play my Rogue or do I want to play my Bard? Let's log into our Bard and see if I can get a group. I've been having a harder time getting a group for the low to mid 20s, but let's see here. Here we go. What am I? A level 20 Bard. 20 Bard. Looking for a group. Okay. Well, there's a cleric healer, so maybe I can join a group with that cleric healer. Alright, so I've been filling up my bank. 21,000 to get another bank slot. Or a row of slots. Row of whatever. 23 Bard. Damn, that means I probably can't get a group with my 20 Bard. Well, maybe I swap over to my Rogue, because there's some mid-20s online here. Let me say, 26 Rogue, or 20 Bard, looking for group. This game can be a little slow if you can't find other people to play with sometimes, so you can kind of solo, although Bard is probably one of the worst soloing classes. If I solo, I probably am going to need to swap to the Rogue, where I just kind of, as quickly as possible, run through low-level dungeons to check them off the list of completed dungeons. Okay. Nice. Although, I've heard double Bard is bad. So maybe I should swap to 25 Rogue. Because Bard is known for buffing, and I'm pretty sure their buffs don't stack. So I'm going to give them that option. Cool. BRB on Garrett Jax. Alright, so let me swap to my Rogue real quick here. Okay. Oh, I'm 26, not 25. It's fine. And that was her, I think. Cool. Rar. No, it was in this person's party. Sometimes I get random invites. There it is. Okay. Well, that was weird. I log to a Rogue, immediately get invited by some other, it was like a random enchanter. Okay. Thank you. I just need tank and DPS, I think. Cleric's got heals, Bards is buff, I'm DPS. Okay. So I've been upgrading my gear the last... Oh, I have a random thing in my inventory here. Is this any good? Cloth, shoulder, chest piece, slash, parry, conjuration, stamina. Is that better than what I have? I don't think so. I have male shoulders, so probably just sell that. Am I playing with viewers? I wasn't planning on it, but if you want to join us, if you have somebody at this level, we're kind of mid-20s. You're welcome to join. As long as you get in before the group gets filled. Kestelin, we got a Crusader. Okay, Crusader is, I think, a tank. I think Crusader is the, like, pally tank type character, is that right? Warriors, Crusaders, and Shadow Knights are the tanks. Okay. Where are all the druids at? You're a 12 bard, and you're probably a little low for our group then. And also, we already have a bard, and I just switched from my bard because apparently multiple bards is probably... I have a feeling having multiple bards, enchanters, or shamans are probably the worst things to have multiples of because their buffs don't stack, and that's what they're most useful for. At least one of the best things about those support classes is their buffs. Where are all the druids at? Are there any druids online? Actually, don't see any druids online right now. My brother started a druid. What's interesting to me is my brother started a druid because he likes healing as a druid. Feels like the heals on the druid are kind of weak in this game. I mean, when I group with druids, they always seem to do tons of AoE damage and not that much healing. Alright, so we need one damage dealer here. Nietzsche has a monk that I played with last night. He was doing pretty good damage with 0 weapons equipped. I guess monks can go full fisticuffs, full hand-to-hand, and actually do damage. But yeah, if anybody in chat has around level 20 to 27-ish DPS, we got room for you. About this monk. There's a monk there. So the pictures of the characters, some of them, like this guy gives me a vague. This picture gives me a vague. Who's Lando Calrissian? Who's the actor who played Calrissian? A slightly overweight guy who played Lando Calrissian. Wizard, nice. What is that guy's name? Shogi were here, he could tell me. I can't remember that guy's name. But one of the like human portraits looks like who plays Thor? God, I can't remember people's names. Names are not words and names. Apparently, I can't think of. Yeah, I hit level 26 last night. I talked about this earlier, Shogi. You must have been AFK or not here. I just got in a really good group yesterday, and we got a bunch of levels. We actually fought a couple boss characters. There's bosses, boss mission target. So I fought. Who did I fight? King of Riven Grotto and Lord Gamavir, like these big boss dudes, which was pretty cool. Ready. Chris Hemsworth and Billy D. Williams. Thank you. He's an overweight Billy D. Williams, and Chris Hemsworth is what some of the other things look like. But when we play Shogi, I can go back to my Bard, and we can have Bard and Chanter, and we can just buff up Nietzsche's Monk. See how much damage we can get him to do with all our buffs. So that can be the play. Alright, so we got Bard buffs and Cleric buffs. I don't know if Crusader gives any buffs. Actually, don't know. Seal of Redemption, I think, is the Cleric buff. Also Zealous Resolve. I have a feeling some wizards don't know that their buff they can actually give to other people. They have a buff that helps them not be, whatchamacallit, spell fizzling or staggered or interrupted or something. Okay, here we go. Time to jump right in. Kill some fools. I'll start giving them my buffs too. So many of the units I've been fighting lately are blood resistance. So I think my bleed ability is not the best ability to use. And I think the rogue gameplay is this 2 is your Rising Furor. It stacks up to 5 and gives you attack haste. Lasts 35 seconds, so I think the best thing to do with rogue is to always try to keep that buff maxed out. Which is a little annoying because if your leader doesn't move fast enough, it'll fade off before you get to the next fight. So if they move a little too slow, I have to rebuild that. Oh god, somebody's slowing me. Okay. Backstab, you're back. Who is slowing me? Is it the Revenant? Don't do that. Maybe it's the Evangelist. I don't know, man. Somebody is slowing me. Can I see what the debuff is that's slowing me? No, I can't. Chilled. There it is. It's that right there. Who is applying chilled? I don't know, but they need to quit it. You're all blood resistant, so I don't even know what ability to use. Let me give you my buff. Okay, we're getting lots of loots. I'm topping the DPS charts. That's the most important thing. When you play an MMO, you gotta top the charts, right? I let one buff fall off, sadly. Sometimes wizards just do crazy amount of damage. Slow Tarn, yeah. Just the AoE. Wizard AoE damage. Now let me start identifying some of these guys. Clear up inventory space. I think any of that's useful. My buff fall off. Damn it, it did. Okay. Probably the Evangelist since they're a cleric. Evangelist was a cleric, okay. Yeah, you're probably right. That's probably what was doing it. Okay. So I have two abilities that do more damage to the back row. Backstab is a range that does full damage. Back row for full damage, and Flash Strike, range full damage to back rows. So those are the abilities. Try to save, try to use on the back row. So Rogue is like the back row killer, which makes sense. Because in MMOs, you're always the one that's supposed to like go kill off the, you know, weak casters and stuff. It's crazy how this game does such a good job of like class identity when the combat is pretty, you know, it's pared down, is what my brother said. You know, it's like you don't have to position yourself in fights since you don't move. You don't have a world to play around in. You just, I don't know, it's almost like comparable like Final Fantasy, I guess, the combat, since You don't actually control where your character moves or anything. You just do your rotation. Wow, so much loot. So much loot. Why can't I hold all this loot? Let's use up a spirit potion. I don't think I'm gonna need that. Alright, this is the buff. Fuhrer. If that falls off, then I gotta rebuild it. And so now we're just walking around empty rooms, and I'll lose my buff, and it's sad. And I'm sad. Because it takes cooldown of 8 seconds 5 times. So like 40 seconds to build that up. I think maybe that thing gets longer duration later or something. But it's the most, I guess, challenging part of this class is just keeping your buffs up. I probably should always lead the group. If I lead the group, I can choose how fast we move. That would probably be the correct thing to do. But anytime you gotta wait for buffs anyway. Probably will fall off anytime you gotta wait for buffs. If Nietzsche's here, I'm wondering if he experiences the same thing, because I think there's a thing with monks where the monk has a buff they have to stack that has a cooldown or a duration on it. Ooh, we got a purple staff. Nice. Purples and greens are the best loot in the game, or at least so far that I've seen. Rune Totem Staff. Lightning, fire, spell, power, attack, wisdom, intelligence, health, mana, arcane, damage to melee. That might be a good wizard's staff there. Come on, get there. Okay, good. Okay, who's doing it? Who's slowing me? Maybe it's the preacher. Kill the preacher. Kill him. No preaching. He's blood resistant. Oh well. Wow, somebody did some AoE. I'm gonna guess that mage. This fight, we're gonna see the mage DPS like be triple of anybody else, probably because of the crazy amount of AoE mage can do. Or wizard. I always say mage. Wizard. Probably should stun more, but I'd like to save my stun for... mechanic of backstab is pretty interesting in this game. Because you actually can't move to the back of enemies, the way you backstab is... This little icon to the top right means that's who the enemy is targeting. If they are not targeting you and you backstab them, you get full damage. So, but if you stun them, I think they added a mechanic where if you stun them, you get the full backstab, I believe. And I am full up on stuff. Is there any CC in the game? Yes, there are stuns. I have one stun. Enchanters are, I think, the king of CC. Enchanters get a stun that stuns every enemy for like 5 seconds or something. Bard has a stun that stuns 3 people. Most classes have a single target or small group of stun, small AoE stun. Enchanter gets the best stun in the game, I think. And you see, anytime you see the like floating squirrel here, I'll show you. Oh no, I won't because he, goddamn, parried it. There's a spinny white thing above their head when they're stunned. There's also Enchanter gets a mesmerize type ability if you know mezzing from EverQuest, where they kind of make an enemy unable to. There it is, that little white circle right there. An enemy is unable to attack, or I think in this game it's not a completely unable to attack, but they do so little damage, and you do so little damage to them, you like phase them out or something. Not sure what the description of it is because I haven't actually played the Enchanter, but Shogi has an Enchanter that I've played with that basically is like a banish or something, maybe. Probably close to the... Was it Warlock and WoW that had a banish ability? Whew, a lot of enemies. A lot more enemies the later on you get. So AoE gets really strong. I'm not quite sure how rogues will ever keep up with DPS of true AoE casters, but maybe if you get crazy good weapons, your single target damage will be enough to keep up. Stasis field isn't a mez, but it's an input-output damage reduction for so many seconds. Okay, so it's the closest thing to a mez, I would say. Ow, I'm taking some damage. Do I have a healing potion? I do. Apparently I have all of the aggro. All of it. Target essentially does no significant damage. Yeah, and when you attack that target, at least from what I've seen, you do like 3-4 damage, like really small amounts of damage yourself. Oh, our Crusader died, our tank died. No wonder I was aggroing. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 or 9 mobs. I wonder what the max number of mobs is. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know how many. I don't know exactly how they're spaced. Tank, doing your job. Dying for the team. Ah, she gets. Oh yeah, it's like it has a bubble ability. Probably, and it was down. Okay. Crap. Ding 27, nice. God, I'm slowed again. Who's doing it? With the Witch Doctor? Kill the Witch Doctor. Unless there's the Magus, I don't know. There's so much stuff that happens to you that it's kind of hard to tell who's doing what in this game, and enemy-wise and player-wise. Now the cleric did the most damage that fight. You're not watching too closely because there's too much brotato. Gotcha. Gotcha. It's important. You don't want to miss out on any brotato. If I knew what that meant, I would be more sympathetic. What's up, Cruel Angel? How are you doing, my friends? Got my buff is stacked. That's good. Plate helmet. Okay. It's a beautiful day. How am I doing? I'm doing great. Been having a good stream. I got a little salty at FTL, but you know, that's just normal. Just normal. Just FTL things. Chilling out with a little Nevergrind online to end the day. And after I finish streaming, I'll probably work out, get dinner, and then come play some more of this, just not stream it. Because that is my life right now. That is my life. Let me see here. Let me give Crusader the buff. Salt and FTL, you don't believe it. I know, it's hard to believe. Me, I'm so unemotional, straight-laced, and dour, or happy and chipper all the time. Why would I ever get salty at a video game? Not even real. Fake news. That's crazy skeleton laugh. That good old school EverQuest skeleton laugh. What level's Nietzsche? Last night when we played, Nietzsche, you were like 21 when I logged off, I think. I did one run with a small group with him where that's when I got level 27 on my, or level 26 on my road. I think he was 21. I don't know if he kept playing, got higher or not. Keep our buff. What is this game? Looks like a modern version of an old RPG. That's a pretty good description of it, yeah. It's called Nevergrind Online. Oh, we got boss. Boss time. I don't have a health potion. I only have a mana potion. Okay. Well, you didn't play yesterday. One day of not playing an MMO is how you fall behind. But, I mean, you catch up pretty quickly. I don't think it'll be that big a deal that you're behind. I'm gonna kill the ads first. Okay. I actually texted you last night to see if you wanted to join us for a little bit, but I figured you were taking a day off from playing since the addiction can build up. I'm gonna save my stun for the big guy after I kill him. Small guy, there we go. Stun. Okay. Lord Gamavir. This is the guy I killed last night, I think. Poison resistant, eh? Okay. Use the mana potion. I'm sure I'll get loots from this guy. So he's poison resistant, so I'm not going to use my poison ability. I will keep him bleeding, though. I'm hoping against this boss I will have the highest DPS, because I'm pretty sure that's where Rogues shines, a single target DPS. Almost there. Can I get one backstab in before he dies? Oh, not quite. Beautiful. Got a purple. Yeah, look at that. There's my DPS. 179. Next highest was Wizard. Beautiful. My Epeen is the best. Okay, let me destroy blues and get yellows. Lol, lol. Oh, I don't actually need to do that. I can just wait for us to go to town. GG, good run. 2 green charms and an epic maul. Wow. I don't know if I've ever gotten 2 greens in a single run. Like I said, green and purple loot's the best. Ooh, I got a purple level 32 armor. That looks really, that could be good. Okay. Ancient Tome. What do we got? Anything good here? I'll probably ask this wizard if they want this two-handed staff here. Oops. Critical, two-hand slash. Not that good. The loot is so random that sometimes it's hard to tell if something's actually going to be useful for you. The DPS on this is good, 6.3, but I have a Rondel that's good. And this Gladius has so many good stats on it that even though the DPS on this purple Gladius is not the greatest, my head's blocking the stats. The stats on this purple sword I have are so good that they're making my damage actually be really good, I think. So keep that. Male wrist item, 1 to dual wield, health mana. I have purple, that's better. Okay, let's see what this purple chest is. Let me show this. Brown chitin shell, 177 leather armor, 6% all resistances, 5 defense, 3 alteration, 3 evocation, 25 stamina, 25 agility, 24 dexterity, physical damage reduced by 3. That's really good. How close am I? I'm like 5 levels away from that, but that's really nice. Let's get rid of some yellow to put the purple in here. I have too much random junk. There's a purple I would like to use probably eventually. And okay. Tiggle's Vestige. Tiggles. I think I have a Tiggles piece. It's a green set. Yeah, it's like a wizard thing. Which the wizard's already wearing the Tiggles back, it sounds. Okay, let's see here. Let me sell the rest of this junk I don't want. Well, that I want that I don't have enough space for. That. Do I already have this rune staff? Bane Ash, Ogre Wormall, Serpent Lord Cedar Staff. I have a whole lot of purple two-hand blunt weapons, man. Alright, I'm just gonna keep the loots for myself for now. Be selfish with my loots. Are there any purples I can wear that I want to wear? One of my gloves. They give me 3 damage, 3 lightning damage to melee. These boots have critical hit. Apparently critical hit is one of the better stats on Rogue to get, I think, as well. Unsurprisingly. Okay, I'll have time. We'll do one more. Did I level? I thought I leveled. I did. Apparently I don't. Oh, I'm finally not getting a skill every level. So, or an upgrade every level. Is it every other level now? 28, then 30, 32, then 33. Okay, it's pretty random. Ooh. Nice upgrade, huh? Upgrades I really need are for one-handed weapons. I do have a purple Chris, which is 5.6 DPS, but 50 to 70 is my damage, 47 to 74. This gives me dual wield, blood damage to melee. This gives me mana leech, life leech. Oh, that might be slightly better actually. Health on kill. So slightly lower minimum damage, slightly higher maximum. How does that work? 9 to 19, 7 to 20. I guess that's how that works. 47 to 74. Interesting. The offhand weapon, it seems like the DPS on it is not as important as the stats on the offhand weapon, which is pretty interesting. Okay, yeah, critical hit is the best thing you can get for increasing DPS for melee. Okay. So I need to look for gear with crit on it. I need to check if there's anything in my bank I'm not using that has crit on it. Weapons won't be a thing. Critical hit on this Eridune's Vault. But I have 7 blood damage to melee. Let me see, 47 to 74. So it looks like this one's better. This charm gives me dex and blood, but I wonder if, well, and I also have decays target armor. I wonder if that works on my melee attacks or not. 40 to 68 compared to 47 to 74. So my crit, how much does my crit chance change? 8.4. Wow, I gain almost 2% critical hit chance. I'm gonna have to give that a try. See if that does seem pretty good. Anything else with crit that I have that I'm not using? Two-hander that I can't use. No crit on that guy. I wonder if this... There's no way a totem with low attack and stats would be better. 62, 68. Chance crit 10%. So it's 1% crit, but I lose a lot of base stats. So that's probably not worth. I'm having a hard time figuring out how to min-max stats. Let's see. 2-minute AFK. All right, we'll do one more after this. This looks really good. I need level 32 for this. Really good stats. Alteration Evocation do hardly anything. But just those stats look really good. So we'll probably need a DPS for this. No, we need a tank, actually, don't we? So we'll need a tank to do one more. Which bosses have I not done? I've not done Emperor Thresh, which is the name of a character in League of Legends. We just did Lord Gamavir, so I think I've done him twice. I did King of Riven Grotto, I think, last night. And Lord Shorvath. I wonder if I could solo the boss. That would be an interesting attempt. Is 11 levels enough to be hired to actually solo a boss as a rogue? I wonder. I also kind of want to try, but might not try that right now. Get one more. Identification scroll here. I'm also wondering if the merchants ever actually sell good items, like purples or greens. I would think that they wouldn't, but maybe they can random yellows that are actually good. Wow, that is 13.5 DPS on a one-hand slash. Oh, wow. That is really high DPS. It's crap stats, but I kind of want to buy that. That's the highest deep. I think for backstabbing, you really just want the highest damaging weapon. Okay, I'm going to buy this and see if it's a waste of 700 gold, but I have a feeling my 40 to 68 damage is going to go way up. 57 to 133. Holy crap. Okay, so which stats do I want? We want the critical hit. Critical hit, stamina, agility, dexterity, over. I think I read on the Discord for rogues that Your main hand, you want the highest damage you can get. The offhand, you want the best stats. I think, anyway. Oh, got another rogue. Guess we'll do it with no tank then. Who needs a tank? Not us, I guess. $15,000. Is that enough for anything? Oh, okay. I have no money, but I now have extra slots. All right. So my average DPS on that run was 143. Let's see if this ginormous, massive Chokuto. I don't even know what a Chokuto is. Is that like a? Looks like almost like a katana or something. If our damage will go way up, I feel like it might. What's my one-hand slash? My one-hand slash is max. It's my one-hand blunt. It's not really high. Double attack and dual wield are maxed. I get riposte at 30. 3 levels, okay. King of Riven Grotto. This is the other boss I've already done. Okay. Alright, let's top the damage charge with our new weapon. Maybe, hopefully, potentially. Cleric, Crusader, Wizard. I have a feeling whoever I attack is gonna be... I'm probably gonna have aggro on whoever I attack. Alright, just a heads up. You're probably tanking whoever you're attacking. Oh. Whoops. I'm completely stupid. Okay, all right. Here, have a talisman of treachery for my foot in my mouth. Okay. Okay, well, I need to not be typing to do any DPS, so... I'm a tank, thanks. Yep. Stun you. 546 backstab. Holy shnikes. Okay. Holy crap, that's a big backstab. Okay. Lando Calrissian, that's right, we lost him. Poor Lando. Holy crap, that's a lot of random stuff. Let's see, he's already got his own buff, probably. Okay, no, my buff did fall off, damn it. My Führer. No, not my Führer. I need my Führer. feel like my DPS is not significantly higher than the last when I changed weapons, so maybe what I changed to is not a whole lot better. I don't know. Okay. Buff myself. Sometimes you don't get someone else aimed. That's annoying. Huh, I wonder what that means. Stuns do suck. I guess that's one good thing about not being a wizard. I'm not aggroing the entire room with my AoEs. So hopefully I'm not getting targeted and stunned as often. I look at my bar so much, I don't see all the numbers popping up half the time. Probably need to keep an eye on that to see actually how much damage I'm doing. My damage seems lower with this weapon than what I was using earlier. So maybe this wasn't a good experiment. Where's my... Come on, backstab him! Hit backstab like 3 times and it didn't go off. Okay. Well, let's give you this. Oh, that's a lot of enemies. Okay. Time for the wizard to go off. To do 5,000 DPS. Let's go with this guy. Backstab for 305. So I think the biggest backstab I've seen was still like a 500 something, I think. Oh, purple cap. Is that any good? Oh, that doesn't look that good at all. I guess that's a low level purple. Twelve seconds of vulnerability on a 1-minute cooldown. Sounds pretty OP. Oh, 377, was that a... Oh, 303 was the backstab, okay. And dead end. 234 with the dazzle thrust, 303 backstab. Okay. Okay. Backstab this guy. I thought my backstabs would be way bigger, giggity, with a weapon that does as much more damage as the one that I equipped. 65 to 142. I guess there's maybe a a big range of damage. 17 to 53 is a really wide range, so maybe that's what I'm experiencing as I'm getting the low end or something. 401. I think I just saw a 401 backstab. Yeah, okay, alright. So it's probably just a pretty large variance for what I'm going to see number-wise on a weapon like that. Okay, so my buff fell off me. Okay. Yeah. Tank having an aggro dump skill would be a go hit the healer button, yes. Which would be great for trolling, not so good for actually surviving a dungeon boss fight, most likely. Uh-oh. Oh, please tell me we're not getting DDoSed on the server again. Alright, let's give the Crusader the buff there. Alright. Wow, this lag. That is lag. Who are the losers out there who DDoS other people? If you are out there DDoSing, you are a loser. Oops, I did not mean to backstab that guy. Which probably means I'm about to get DDoSed since I just said that, but still. Who gets their kicks out of going out and ruin other people's fun by... What does DDoSing do? Like spam info to a server or something like that? So dumb. Hey, what's up, Trevelyan Heart? How are you doing? Okay, let's see, I gave Crusader the buff, let's give Cleric the buff. How's your day going, my friend? Hope you're having a good one. Hope you're not DDoSing anybody, since I was just yelling about people DDoSing people. Don't DDoS, it's rude. Ooh, 409 backstab, not bad. Going alright? Okay, alright. Well, it's better than going to Shiznizzle Snap. Alright, there's the boss. I got plenty of health potions. I wish I could give away some health potions to my friends. That backstab was 308. Okay, not bad. Okay, alright. Boss time. Let's get, well, we have one more fight for the boss. Oh, I'm so used to having a bard or an enchanter in the group. I'm just spamming through my mana, apparently. Two-piece set. Bonus of Mountain Fortress is +10 defense. That's cool. I was wondering if there were set bonuses on greed items, because I've never gotten more than one of any particular set so far. So that's cool. Of course, it wouldn't be a set if it didn't have a set bonus, I guess, right? Alright, so I got health potions if needed. I rebuff myself just in case. I think I already did that, actually. I wish there were timers on the buff so I could know if I already buffed myself or not. I tell on Bard easily because the duration and the cooldown are within like 5 to 10 seconds of each other. Alright, rebuff time. Alright, let's take out this boss and then we'll call it a stream. Well, take out this boss. Check out our loots. Of course, gotta check out the loots. Okay, stun the boss. Got debuffs on him. He's blood resistant, but I'll bleed him anyway, I guess. Not blood immune, at least. I don't know if there's any enemies in the game that become immune to certain damage types. 309 backstab. Seems to be the number I'm seeing the most. Stun him. Not enough mana. I am out of mana! What? Okay, apparently I have no mana. Can I even backstab? Okay, I can backstab at least. Okay, I need to use my abilities. I don't use mana, they use spirit, which are... This guy uses spirit. Okay, I am just completely wiped out of mana. Jeez. How? Okay, I need Prowl. Prowl will give me mana back. This guy draining mana? Not enough mana even for my Rising Furor. Okay. Okay, that doubles my mana regen. My mana regen at like 0, I guess. Okay, well, that's kind of sucked. That's the first time I've run out of mana in like... God, I can't remember how long. Okay. GG, thanks for the runs, folks. Did I get level 28? I did. Get head out. Okay, so let's see what loots we got. See if we got anything good. Let me sell the stuff that I've already identified. That's happy blue stuff. Although I should be checking DPS on these one-handers, honestly. Maybe keeping one of these, each of these potions is a good idea, honestly, if I'm going to be running out of mana randomly in my fights. Okay, I need to identify all those ones. Okay, let's see what we got. Anything useful? That's probably the worst purple I've seen. Level 9, 7 armor, 1 defense, 9 health. That looks like a yellow with 1 extra stat. It actually looks like it has less stats than some yellow items I've seen. Alright, 6.3. No crazy good DPS on that. Okay. But it is still purple, so I'll probably still hold on to it. I think it's probably a good idea. Maybe even keeping 1 spirit potion, but health and mana, as long as I keep 1 of each of those, would probably be good. Alright, what's a low level thing I can get rid of? Maybe that guy. So the piece that I'm looking forward to using is this. 32, level 32 leather chest piece. It's got some crazy good stats. Alright, so let me level up my skills. What did I get? I got a new backstab. So, current current rank is 285 to 299. Next rank is 328 to 343. Okay, and I was seeing a lot of what, 3 something? Let's scroll up and see our backstabs. Backstab, where's my last backstab? Flash strike, widow strike, flash strike. Backstab 315. I think I saw one that was like 500. Maybe it was a crit. All right, let's get that. And Mirage Strike upgrade. Alrighty, my friends. Well, I hope you all enjoyed a little bit of chill Nevergrind online. This is the game I play when I'm offline, not streaming. Just because it's a super chill game. Hopefully, maybe Nietzsche and Shogi will be around later. We can team up. But my friends, hope you like it. If you like this game, it is on Steam. It's a fun, chill game that you can just kind of... It's almost like an idle game, only it's not a cash grab mobile game. So, but it's kind of like a fun, just spam your rotation and figure out your best stats and all that. So, if there's anybody new to the stream, you had fun, hope you hit the follow. Like I always say, I can never thank all you one folks enough for all the support. Bits, follows, subs, gifts, subs, lurking, hanging out, all that stuff. We will play Satisfactory tomorrow, and then more FTL Hard No Pause on Wednesday. So until next time, peace out, happy gaming, y'all rock, enjoy the sea shanty, and I'll see you all next time. Have a great night. Later, my friends.